Behind Bars Menu, the shocking truth about prison food. The mystery meat. The peak. The camera zooms in on a steel food tray. A gray, slimy lump sits in the center. Prisoners call it mystery meat. It smells like spoiled dog food, yet tonight, it's dinner. One inmate pushes his tray away, gagging. Another stares at it like he's deciding whether to eat or starve. Then the shocking truth: this meat isn't even real meat. It's scraps, fillers, and powdered soy mashed together, sometimes with maggots crawling inside. But here's the bigger twist. Rumors spread that this food isn't just unhealthy. It might be deliberately served this way to keep inmates weak, to break them down. So the question is, if prison food can be this bad, what else is really being hidden behind bars? The first bite. Rewind. Before the rumors, before the shock, let's go back to the beginning. Every day inside prison starts the same. Chow line. Inmates shuffle forward, trays in hand. Breakfast, watery oatmeal. Sometimes moldy bread. Coffee so thin, it looks like dirty water. It's not just bad taste, it's survival. Some eat every crumb. Others trade their food for cigarettes, soap, or even protection. For the new guy, it's confusing. He thinks it can't be this bad every day, right? But soon he learns this is only the start. The hustle begins. Inside, food is more than food, it's currency. A single honey bun from commissary, worth more than the full prison dinner. Instant ramen, called soup, on the inside. And it's like gold. One inmate stacks up soups like cash. Another trades his mystery meat patty for a stamp to write his family. Food keeps people alive, but it also fuels fights, debts, and even gangs. When someone can't pay back what they owe, violence follows. Extreme ending. The riot over dinner. One night it goes too far. The kitchen serves spoiled chicken. The smell spreads through the block. Inmates start shouting, banging trays against the bars. Guards yell back, but the noise builds like thunder. Then it explodes. Trays fly, fists swing, and chaos takes over the chow hall. What began as bad food turns into a full-blown food riot. Kitchen secrets. Chaos in the chow hall. The room is a war zone. Food trays scatter across the floor, slop dripping down the walls. Guards swing batons, shouting for order. Inmates cover their heads, some fighting back, some ducking under tables. The riot alarms blare. Sirens echo through the prison. Within minutes, the block is locked down. The kitchen shuts. But the anger, it doesn't go away. And soon, whispers spread. If the food is this bad, what's happening in that kitchen? Behind the kitchen doors. Here's the truth nobody outside sees. The prison kitchen is huge. Massive pots boiling, trays stacked high, and workers moving fast. But the workers aren't professional chefs, they're inmates themselves. Most of them never worked in a kitchen before. Some don't care. Others sneak bites, drop food on the floor, and toss it back in. And sometimes, meat that smells bad, still cooked. Milk that's spoiled, still poured. Because the rule is simple. Nothing gets wasted. The business of cheap food. But here's the shocking twist. This isn't just laziness. Prisons don't aim to serve good food. They aim to serve cheap food. The less money spent, the better it looks on paper. A contractor supplies the meals, cutting corners at every step, powdered eggs instead of fresh, soy filler instead of beef, expired cans relabeled and sent inside. Each meal might cost the state only $1.20 to make, but inmates pay the real price with their health, their dignity, and sometimes their lives. Extreme ending. The hidden rat. One night, an inmate working in the kitchen lifts a pot of beans. Floating inside isn't just food, it's a dead rat. The discovery spreads fast through the block. Inmates scream, gag, and throw their trays away. For some, it's the final straw. And once again, the prison is on edge. Because if a rat can end up in dinner, what else is crawling inside their food? The cover-up. Whispers of the rat. The rat incident spreads like wildfire. Inmates on every tier whisper about it. Did you hear? They found a rat in the beans. Some laugh, some gag, others get angry. The guards, they pretend it never happened. Trays are collected and the kitchen is scrubbed down overnight. By morning, officials deny everything. No contamination, just a rumor. But the inmates know what they saw, and once trust is broken, it never comes back. The inspector arrives. A week later, the prison gets a surprise visit. An inspector from the state walks through the kitchen with a clipboard, nodding, checking boxes. Floors are mopped spotless. Food trays look fresh. Inmate workers wear gloves for the first time in months. But it's all a show. The real kitchen, the one from last week, looked nothing like this. When the inspector leaves, nothing changes. The beans still taste sour. The bread still comes with green spots. And the inmates know. Nobody on the outside cares. Food as power. Here's where things get darker. Inside prison, food is more than survival. It's control. Guards know when they serve rotten meat, fights will break out. They know hunger makes inmates weaker, easier to manage. And sometimes punishment means skipping meals. A guard slides a tray past one cell, then skips the next. That inmate left hungry all night. It's not just food anymore. It's power. Extreme ending. The poison rumor. Then, a chilling rumor spreads. Whispers echo through the block. The food isn't just dirty. It's poisoned. One inmate swears he saw bleach poured into the soup. Another says a guard laughed while sprinkling cleaning powder into the mashed potatoes. Is it true? Nobody knows for sure. But after the rat incident, everyone believes it could be. And suddenly inmates start refusing meals, choosing hunger over what might be slow poison. The underground kitchen. Hunger strikes. After the poison rumors spread, dozens of inmates stop eating Chow Hall food. They push trays away, dump slop down the toilet, or hand it off just to get it out of sight. Hunger strikes begin. Whole blocks refusing food as protest. Guards laugh it off. They'll eat when they're hungry enough. But in prison, going hungry isn't just about protest, it's about desperation. And desperation leads to invention. Commissary cooking. When the Chow. Hall can't be trusted. Inmates turn to the commissary, the prison store. With ramen packs, tuna cans, hot sauce, and instant coffee, they create their own meals. One inmate crushes ramen noodles in a bag, pours in hot water from a smuggled heating coil, and mixes tuna with mayonnaise. It's called a spread, and to a starving man, it tastes like a 5-star meal. Soon, the cell blocks turn into underground kitchens. Inmates use hairdryers, stolen wires, even light bulbs to cook. The smell of ramen and spices fills the air, covering the stench of prison food. Food is black market gold, but food isn't just comfort, it becomes currency. Ramen packs replace dollars. Candy bars replace coins. A man who controls the ramen controls the block. Debts grow. One inmate owes soups to another gang. When he can't pay, they take it out in blood. Inside these walls, a single honey bun can cost you your safety, or even your life. Extreme ending. The boiling pot attack. Then comes the most extreme twist. One night, an inmate known for running the food hustle gets into a fight. His rival storms his cell with a steaming pot of ramen water, boiling hot mixed with crushed chili peppers. He throws it across his face. The screams echo through the block. The smell of burning skin mixes with spice and steam. Food, once survival, has now become a weapon. The business of hunger. The guards cut. Not all food makes it to the chow line. Boxes of fresh fruit disappear before inmates ever see them. Extra meat? Gone. Even milk cartons vanish. Where does it all go? Some guards sneak it out the back door. Others sell it to inmates under the table. $50 for a bag of apples, one guard whispers. For prisoners desperate for something real, they'll pay anything. The chow hall starves while the black market thrives. The contractors profit. But the real money isn't with the guards. It's with the companies that run prison food. Big corporations win contracts worth millions. Their job? Feed thousands of inmates for as little money as possible. How do they do it? By cutting corners, powdered milk instead of fresh, soy filler instead of beef, expired or relabeled cans. On paper, the budget looks great. In reality, inmates are fed slop that even animals wouldn't touch. And the shocking part? Every dollar saved goes straight into profit, the health toll. Inmates start getting sick, stomachs cramp, skin breaks out, blood pressure spikes from the high sodium in ramen and soy. One prisoner collapses after weeks of eating only spreads and junk. The doctor shakes his head. Malnutrition. In America's prisons, food is supposed to be basic human survival. But inside it becomes a slow poison served daily, 3 times a day. Extreme ending. The maggot tray. One morning, breakfast trays roll out. A young inmate lifts the lid off his scrambled eggs, then freezes. Wriggling on top of the food are live maggots. He screams. Others drop their trays. Some vomit. Guards rush in, but the damage is done. The truth can't be denied anymore. Prison food isn't just bad, it's rotten. And now the entire block is ready to explode. The breaking point. The chow hall erupts. The maggot trays are the spark. When word spreads, inmates refuse to line up for meals. Others flip their trays onto the floor in protest. Guards shout, but the anger builds. Soon, fists slam against steel bars. Voices rise into chants. We want real food. We want real food. The chow hall transforms into a battlefield. Guards storm in with shields. Inmates hurl trays, cups, anything they can grab. What started with spoiled eggs becomes a full-blown food riot. The lawsuits begin. Outside the prison, word leaks. Families file complaints. Lawyers gather evidence. Photos of moldy bread and rotting meat make it to court. Lawsuits are filed against prison food contractors, accusing them of negligence, corruption, even human rights violations. But trials move slowly. For the inmates still locked inside, nothing changes. The slop keeps coming. The hunger keeps gnawing. The protests only grow louder. Food is punishment. Here's the darkest truth yet. Prison food isn't just cheap, it's designed to punish. Some prisons serve disciplinary diets. A brick of mashed beans and vegetables, baked solid, tasteless, and dry. Inmates call it the loaf. Guards use it as a weapon. Step out of line? Eat nothing but loaf for a week. File a complaint? Loaf again. It's not just food anymore. It's psychological warfare. Extreme ending. The hunger collapse. One night during lockdown, an inmate collapses in his cell. He hasn't touched prison food in days, surviving only on water. His body couldn't take it anymore. Other inmates scream for help, banging on their doors, but guards are slow to respond. By the time medical staff arrives, it's too late. The message spreads like fire. Prison food can kill. Exposed to the world. The media spotlight. After the death in the cell, news outlets get involved. Photos of maggot-infested trays, rotten meat, and the loaf leak to the press. Headlines read, "Rotten food served in state prisons." Is prison food a human rights violation? The public is outraged. Families of inmates rally outside prison gates holding signs. Food is not punishment, and human beings deserve better. For the first time, the prison menu isn't a secret anymore. It's national news. Undercover investigations. Reporters dig deeper. They discover that prison food companies are making millions in profit while cutting costs so low that spoiled meat and expired cans are considered acceptable. One whistleblower, a former food service worker, admits on camera, "We were told to serve it no matter how it looked. If it's rotten, cover it in sauce. If it smells, boil it longer." The truth hits hard. What inmates have been saying for years is finally proven: the public divide. But not everyone cares. Some people say, they're criminals. Why should they get good food? Others argue, prison is punishment, not torture. Basic food is a human right. The debate rages in courtrooms, on TV, and across the country. But inside the cells, inmates aren't debating. They're still eating the slop. Extreme ending. The kitchen fire, tensions boil over again. In one prison, after weeks of protest, an inmate working in the kitchen starts a fire with stolen oil. Flames spread fast, smoke fills the air, alarms blare. Guards rush in, locking down the block, but it's too late. The kitchen is destroyed. Food service halts. For days, inmates get nothing but peanut butter sandwiches served cold, and once again, survival inside prison is pushed to the edge. Attempts at change. The fix plan. After the kitchen fire, prison officials can't hide anymore. They announce reforms. A new contractor is hired. Promises are made. Fresher food, healthier meals, better standards. Menus are posted with fancy words: chicken casserole, garden vegetables, whole grain bread. But when the trays arrive, it's the same gray slop, just with new names. For the inmates, nothing changes. The hunger, the anger, the distrust remain. When food fails, families pay. So inmates turn back to the only option left: family. Loved ones on the outside send money so inmates can buy ramen, tuna, and chips from commissary. But prices are marked up high. A single ramen pack, 25 cents on the street, costs $1 inside. Families already struggling with bills now pay hundreds a month, just so their sons, brothers, or fathers can avoid starvation. Prison food isn't just punishing inmates, it's punishing their families too. The cycle of control. And here's the darkest part. Even when lawsuits are won, even when contractors change, the system doesn't stop. Because prison food was never just about feeding, it's about control. Keep inmates hungry, keep them weak, keep them desperate. Hungry men fight each other. Hungry men don't rise up together. Food is power, and in prison, power is everything. Extreme ending. The final meal. One night, an old inmate whispers to his cellmate, "Tomorrow I get out." He's served one last prison meal before release, a tray of soggy vegetables and a slab of mystery meat. He laughs bitterly. After years of this, even fast food outside will taste like heaven. He eats slowly, staring at the food that defined his sentence. For him, it's the end. But for thousands still inside, tomorrow's tray will look exactly the same. The shocking truth. Beyond the tray, prison food was never just about feeding people. It became a mirror, a reflection of how society views those behind bars. Rotten meat, moldy bread, and powdered eggs weren't accidents. They were messages. You don't matter. Every tray reminded inmates that their lives held less value than the money saved by cutting corners. $1 billion punishment. Across America, prison food contractors still rake in billions each year. They sell themselves as cost-saving heroes, while inmates eat food not fit for dogs. For the state, it's cheaper. For corporations, it's profit. For inmates, it's slow suffering, served 3 times a day. And yet, society pays too, because when prisoners get out, they carry the scars of malnutrition, anger, and distrust with them. The question we can't ignore. Some say they did the crime, they should suffer. Others argue prison is punishment, but food should never be torture. The debate rages on, but one truth remains. What's on the plate behind bars reveals what kind of justice system we really believe in. Final extreme ending, the empty tray. The camera fades to black and white. A steel tray slides across the counter, empty, scratched, lifeless. No meat, no bread, no color, just emptiness. It's more than a tray, it's a symbol, a system that feeds punishment instead of nourishment. A menu designed not to sustain life, but to break it. And the haunting question remains, if this is how we feed prisoners, what does it say about us?